Hey guys, Max Tornado here. We are on episode 5 of the UDK Max Tornado new player kind of tutorial account. Now, like I said yesterday, we were able to complete our 4-piece set of lifesteal gear, which is fantastic. And I kind of stress the importance of remembering to try to build the correct stats over sets. Obviously, lifesteal set is going to be massive for our damage dealers, especially early game, because they're going to be healing from the damage they deal. So the way we are currently going to be kind of progressing is we're taking our Elhain to level 40. We're going to take Skull Crown to level 30, then rank him up so he can be a chicken. We're going to go ahead and do the same for these uncommons down here. That's our plan. And we are going to go ahead and take Sniper to level 30 and then rank her up because we have a mission that asks us to upgrade a champion to rank 4. Now, either we're going to do Sniper, but truthfully, it'll probably be Skullsworn because we're going to go ahead and get him ready to be a rank 4 chicken pretty soon. So he might end up beating Sniper. My major focus for tonight for this account is going to be pushing into the campaign. So now that we have an almost level 40 Elhain, we should be able to easily clear pretty much all of normal campaign. I don't expect us to run into any issues. We might need to rank Elhain up if we run into some problems on the hollowed halls. There's several Force Affinity champions here that can do a lot of damage to the Magic Affinity. But I think if we bring a full team of 4 in with Talia, Elhain, Sniper, and War Priest, we'll probably be fine. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So currently starting out on the normal Valdemar Strait side right here, and I don't expect it'll take us long to kind of push through these. Yeah, so I hope you guys are having a good day so far, and I appreciate all the support on the previous videos, so we're going to keep on kind of churning them out at a daily basis. And if there's anything that you would like me to do specifically for a video, obviously these videos typically hang out around 20 to 30 minutes because we're kind of doing a day of gameplay summary. But if there's anything specific like how to build champions, what artifact sets are most beneficial, which rares to keep, which rares not to keep, anything of that nature, just feel free to comment that, and I'll be more than happy to try to address those in some shorter videos. That way they're easier to consume. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video now and get into some gameplay, and then we will come back once we have some stuff to talk about. Alright, so real quick, we have entered the Deadlands, which is a really cool stage of the campaign. Now, this is a really, really important stage, and a lot of new players will spend some time in the Deadlands to farm a specific rare that's really, really valuable. And that is this wonderful champion here, the War Maiden. Not to be confused with the War Mother. If we take a look at the difference, there's some slight differences, but I mean aesthetically they're almost the same. So visually speaking, they're almost identical. So we've got War Mother here, about the same amount of clothing. Considered one of the most beautiful of all the Ogren females. And then we've got War Maiden, who, she's alright. She's alright, right? We've got War Maiden, she's alright. Now, the thing about War Maiden, all jokes aside, is the reason she's so valuable is she is one of the best rares in the game for 100% chance of placing 60%. So it's the big version, right? There's 30%, 60%. It's the big version of decreased defense once she is fully put. Now, because she's farmable, you could farm experience in the Deadlands and just continuously get more and more War Maidens, and then use War Maidens as books. So she's also got a little bit of an increased attack here. Nothing too major here. Her A1 and her A2 aren't really what she's brought for. She's typically going to be brought in to do a decreased defense for dungeon waves, a decreased defense for arena, so that way your nukers do more damage, right? So that's kind of the goal. Now, we did get a shard, and like I said before, if you're getting a shard within that first week of gameplay, even the first 2 weeks of gameplay potentially, you can kind of just yank these as they come out. So let's see what we get. Maybe we'll get something impactful that'll be big for our account. That is not that is not what we wanted. Ghoulish Ranger. Let's see. Decreased accuracy on the A1. Um, okay, so nothing really major there. A small chance to place a leech. Attacks 3 times at random. Yeah, yeah. With a low chance of placing an HP bar too. So nothing major. Looks kind of cool. For those of you who play World of Warcraft, it kind of looks like Four Dragon, Bolvar Four Dragon, I think is his name. I might be saying that wrong. But it's the new Lich King, right? Anyways, let's see. So we've got some mystery shards as well. I don't have a lot of inventory space, so this is going to be something a lot of new players kind of run into, where they want to pull mystery shards to see if they get some kind of good rare, like Apothecary or Frozen Banshee, or Kale if they didn't select Kale, right? So, you know, a lot of these mystery shards are going to be sitting here, and you're going to want to pull them. But they run into this cost of silver or gems, and we certainly don't want to spend gems. Because that's a terrible conversion rate, right? 45 gems for 160,000 silver is awful. And we're low on silver already. So then we look at, well, what can we do to earn some silver, but to potentially expand our champion inventory? Well, we can come into our gear inventory, we can go to filter, and then we can tell it to filter. Starting out, we can tell it to filter all 1 and 2 star gear, right? All this 1 and 2 star gear we are not going to keep, we are not going to use. It's just, you do not want to spend your hard-earned silver on this gear, right? So what are we going to do with it? We're going to sell it, right? We're just going to sell it. So we'll select all, and we will sell. Now, keep in mind, I do have the sniper who needs that attack percent. There might even be a quest later where we have to upgrade this to level 12. I'm certain that we'll have some better attack percent random 3-star, 4-star pieces that we could probably use. But if you don't remember, or if you didn't catch that last video where I talked about the importance of wearing speed boots, crit rate gloves, definitely check that out. So that earned us a little bit of silver, right? We got a couple 100,000 or 100,000 from that. And then we could also do the same thing if we go here and we were to say, let's filter to 3-star, and let's only show us the gray and the uncommon, right? Because a lot of these pieces aren't going to be used either. So we could go ahead and sell, select all, and sell. As a new player, it's going to be really tempting to see like these 3-star pieces that are epic and be like, oh, I'm going to take those up to 16, and I'm going to take those up to, you know, 12 and stuff. Probably 8, 12 at the most. 12 at the most. You really want to save your 12s and 16s for your 4-star gear and your 5-star gear once you start getting that. It's kind of a stepping stone. You're going to step away from 3-star gear within like the first couple days of gameplay. You really do not want to be holding on to 3-star gear and leveling it up tons and tons. So we're going to keep 3-star epics at the moment, but certainly getting rid of the gray and uncommon. Okay, so that is that. So it netted us a couple 100,000 in total. Now, make sure we're doing our daily quests as well, because we want to be getting these gems every day, so summon a couple more champions. Now, like I was saying with the whole inventory situation as well, we can go ahead and go to these champions that we're trying to level up, and we can actually pump some brews into them, but we can also pump these level 1s into them as well. So let's go ahead and get Skullsworn, because again, our main goal is to get Elhain up to 5-star at this point. So we're going to go ahead and get Skullsworn up to level 30 by tossing in a couple brews. And let's see, we could hit max here, right? But what I like to do is, okay, this is actually a good example. So these brews give 18,000 experience per brew. So we can actually see that's going to be almost spot on for using 7 total brews. Sometimes what you'll see is you'll use a 7th brew, but it's only going to use a couple thousand experience, so you've really wasted it. So this is actually a good value here. Now, we'll go ahead and go to our other champions that we're wanting to level up. Crusader, same way. Let's go ahead. Now you can hit max, and then you can just subtract 1 to see. Ooh, this is the exact example that I was talking about. So we would have used that 10th brew and only gotten 2,000 experience out of it. That is terribly inefficient. So what can we do instead? We can just toss in a couple of these rank 1 chickens, right? Gets the job done, saves us a full XP brew, right? So then we're going to go ahead and go to our next one, this guy right here. And we'll go ahead and do max, and then we'll subtract 1. And this is a little bit less bad, but still we don't want to waste, we don't want to waste a third of that XP boost. So we're going to go ahead and just pump in these 1-star chickens because we need to make room for our inventory anyways, right? So we can do that. There we go. That's another one. And let's check out. So if we go to upgrade rank, we can see Crusader here. He has this guy that he can eat. This one is not worth keeping, so we're going to go ahead and feed it. And this one can be farmed in the campaign, so we're going to go ahead and feed it as well. Okay. And just like that, we've completed our mission for the 4-star new champion. We've gotten a 4-star chicken for our Elhain, so we're going to need that. And we can also look at this, and we can say, okay, we need to start getting some rank 3 chickens ready for these two fellas, right? So that's what we're going to work on. I just wanted to kind of mention that the Deadlands is super beneficial to farm. We're going to go ahead and knock out this clear stage 2 or higher of Ice Golem Peaks. We'll go ahead and do these. Like I said, we're gonna kind of keep on pushing through these. But the Deadlands is an excellent place to farm because War Maiden is a fantastic champion. Obviously, if you pull like an epic like Deacon or Tayrael or Stagnite, a lot of the times those epics will replace War Maiden. But you also have to remember that you end up using epic books instead to do similar jobs. Stagnite's phenomenal, so he's certainly worth it. But that's a conversation for another time. War Maiden, excellent top tier rare. Definitely keep 1 copy of it minimum. So we're gonna go ahead and complete these and keep on rolling. Okay, so I think this is stage 6 of the Ice Golem complete. You can see Elhain is once again doing the largest share of the work here. So just as a kind of a reminder, we were able to clear stage 6 of Dragon's Lair, I believe, or maybe stage 5. Okay, so we cleared stage 5 of Dragon's Lair. We're probably going to end up capping out at stage 6 of the Ice Golem, mostly because stage 7 is the Force Affinity. Now, this is a good opportunity for anyone who doesn't kind of prioritize affinities, which is difficult to do early game because you only have so many champions and you only have so many options, right? This is the kind of rock beats paper, or rock beats scissors, paper beats rock kind of scenario, right? It's the 3-way different colors, and void is neutral. It's neither strong nor weak. The way I remember this most easily is it's kind of opposite of Pokemon, right? So if you remember Pokemon, grass would typically beat water, but it's opposite of that. So grass beats fire, fire beats water, water beats grass. So that is the exact opposite of how Pokemon would have functioned. And oops, I didn't enlarge the screen here. I'm playing some of my all accounts to try to help us down the clan boss in the clan, and I'm playing my main account too. So lots of things going on in that screen. Sorry for that. But yeah, so we have all 3 of those affinities, and so whenever you encounter Force Affinity, it's going to be opposite of all the starters. Elhain, Aethel, Gallic, and Kale are all magic affinity. We can go ahead and try this real quick just while we talk. So I guess the way it's kind of valuable to remember the affinity impact is you have a 15% chance increased if you are attacking like a weak affinity, right? So if we were attacking green, then we would actually have 15% increased critical rate, and we would also have higher accuracy kind of chances. If we were attacking force affinity, they have higher chance to crit us. They also have more resistance against us, and we have less crit against them. So I mean, there's a lot of challenges that can kind of come in with this. So just be mindful. Obviously, you're not going to really build with that in mind. You're not going to be building higher and higher accuracy. You're not going to be building with those stats in mind. It's just something to be kind of thoughtful of. You don't want to necessarily go into a fight thinking, oh, you know, all things are equal all the time, because they're not. You'll get hit harder against force affinity. You'll weak hit more often, and we'll probably even see some weak hits. Yep, see weak right there. Just went across the screen. Because Talia and Elhain are both magic. That was a strong hit, so that means weak hit there again with Elhain. So we can kind of see that another weak hit. we're doing less damage against this force ice golem, and it's doing more damage against us. So that's just the way it goes. I don't imagine. I mean, we might end up losing here. It's very possible because Ice Golem he can start to really hit harder, and we're obviously getting debuffed, decreased defense. Here's a strong hit and a freeze. We die here for sure. Yep. So that's kind of what I expected. But I think it's a good example of how we easily cleared the stage before it, with it being neutral affinity because we're blue and Ice Golem was blue. But the moment we encountered Force Affinity, we didn't have a chance, really. So you'll encounter this along your dungeon progression. You'll probably run into situations where it's like you're kind of trucking through the dungeons, and then all of a sudden you just hit a brick wall, and it's going to likely be on the opposite affinity of your majority team. So we have a majority of blue folks that are running into a wall of red. Alright, so I'll pause it here. I just kind of wanted to stress that, and also it's nice to kind of keep an update on like where we are at with the dungeons, because as we continue to rank up Elhain and the rest of our team, you'll see us kind of continue to progress further and further, so that'll be kind of a neat way to track it as well. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, we are back. I wasn't gone for long, but we were talking about how we wanted to keep up with what dungeon stages we were able to beat, especially in correlation with what level and rank our Elhain is. So I want to kind of hit clan boss. This is the first time that we're actually going to be probably keying, and when we talk about keying, it just means actually unlocking a chest, right? So we'll see how much damage we do with our Elhain now that it's rank 4 and has lifesteal. Really, we're not going to be supported by any of these other champions. They're going to be here, but they're probably not going to be doing any work, just to be completely honest. But nonetheless, we'll bring them. We'll let them do as much damage as they can while they're here. Elhain inevitably will do the lion's share of the work once again. And this Crusader is not geared, so we don't expect it to do any work. This Sniper is not geared, as we all know. So we'll see what this does. And yeah, so with Clan Boss, we were talking about the affinity difference with dungeons. We can run into similar challenges with Clan Boss as well, because the first 50% of Clan Boss is void, right? So you're not hitting strong, you're not hitting weak. It's not hitting strong, it's not hitting weak. After 50% life of Clan Boss, it then switches to a random affinity. I used to be under the kind of mistaken assumption that it was predetermined, like, oh, it's Monday, so it's going to be life affinity, or it's Tuesday, it's going to be magic. It's random. So at 50%, it then randomizes and chooses an affinity. So sometimes you can get lucky, like with life affinity, we have a couple strong magic damage dealers, right? So that's gonna be good for Elhain. If it was force, we would just plain and simple do much less damage. Also, the clan boss will put debuffs on people. So as we can see, clan boss has done a stun, and it has now done decreased speed. The debuff that it applies, like decreased speed, decreased accuracy, or decreased attack, is also dependent on the affinity. So that's something to be mindful of. Now, later on in the game, we'll build teams specifically for absorbing the stun, or cleansing the debuffs, or blocking the debuffs entirely. And that's when we start talking about, like, unkillable teams and block damage teams, and just really, really fine-tuned, like even speed-tuned teams. That's something that we'll talk about in the future. So we did 177,000 damage. That's not a whole lot, but at the end of the day, if we can get this first chest, that's going to be kind of a nice accomplishment, right? We're only rank 4, so we're not expecting a lot. So we'll go ahead and do this key again, and then tomorrow, once we're rank 5, we should see another increase in damage. So that'll be kind of nice to see. So I'll go ahead and pause it, and then I'll unpause it once we have that second damage report. Okay, so it looks like we've gotten to turn 12, and maybe even, yeah, turn 13. Okay, turn 13, 180,000 damage, and we'll kind of use this as a comparison tool whenever we continue to rank up and level up. So that is going to unlock the, let's see, we did how much total? We did 357,000. So we are in the novice chest. Okay, so you just get some good rewards here. Obviously, the early game chests aren't super valuable from easy, normal, and hard. But the goal is we're going to continue to progress this account, and then before we give it away, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to hit Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. But certainly we'll be able to progress into Brutal pretty quickly, and of course Nightmare. So yeah, we'll pause it, and then we'll come back once we have completed some more missions. Okay, so real quick, I wanted to give a kind of some tips related to leveling up champions. Obviously, I was telling you guys earlier about how, whenever we're trying to kind of feed into one particular champion, we can use brews, and then we can kind of top them off with a couple one-star chickens. But right now, we're actually in a situation where, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, and we're actually kind of planning on keeping Commander, so we're not going to count that one, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chickens of 2-star rank, right? 2 stars. And we have a whole lot of 1 stars. Now, say for example, we were to level up these 2-star chickens to level 20, and we needed to rank them up. We obviously don't have any more rank 2s at that point. So we can actually use our brews in a really clever way to kind of help us create new chickens. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick. We're going to go ahead and click on rank 1 level 1, right? And then we're going to go ahead, and we're already on upgrade level. We're going to use 1 brew, that'll take us to level 9, and then 3 1-star chickens. And then just like that, we have a level 10, and then we can go ahead and turn it into a rank 2 chicken. Okay? Now, same thing with rank 2. We can use brews if we have kind of some excess brews. We can do this. We can use 4 brews, right? And then we can use 1, 2, 3, 4 chickens. Level 1, rank 1 chickens, and just like that, we have a rank 3 after we feed a couple rank 2s into it. Right. So the nice thing is with Raid, we get that appreciation gift every day, where we either get an energy refill or we get the brews. So make sure that you're logging in every day. Make sure you're doing your quests when you can, so that way you're getting your free rewards that way. And yeah, just by playing the game, we can unlock some nice rewards. So we're gonna go ahead and do another 10 pop. Hopefully we get an apothecary or a frozen banshee, sniper. Okay. Now again, we're happy with sniper. We're happy with sniper because sniper is gonna help us continue to clear faction wars. Like she has that good kit where she can do attack all enemies, right? Same thing with archer. Truthfully, since we're kind of low on champions right now, if we want to go ahead and clear stage 1 of Bannerlords, Sniper and Archer have identical kits. Like, really weird. But, chance to place decreased speed here. Attack all enemies. Chance to place decreased speed here. Turn meter. And, yeah, so, I mean, kind of weird. Sometimes the uncommons will have identical kits. There's another, like, with Crusader and Sergeant, I think. But either way, I just wanted to show that off. And speaking of, free resources, even if you're a brand new player and you're not going for this fusion, obviously, because we don't have the resources for it, it's still be mindful that you can get rewards from these events and tournaments, right? Like, we're gonna go ahead and claim some free gems here because we're leveling up champions anyways, right? So we'll go ahead and pause it, and then we'll chat in just a minute. Hey guys, we're back. So I wanted to also show another way. We were talking about the use of feeding champions into other champions to kind of free up some room for your inventory here. You can also go about it by going champions, and then you can utilize the champion vaults, right? The reserve vault's actually something that came out fairly recently, but we have the master vault here, and I'm planning on using commander, and I'm planning on using archer in the future. For faction wars, just because a level 20 uncommon with some level 8 gear can actually clear that first stage fairly easy, right? So we'll probably keep a couple uncommons for each faction, or once we have a rare that's decent, we'll keep that for the faction just to be able to farm those glyphs. you know, Saurus isn't a bad one for Lizardman, but I've already kind of started feeding him experience to get him as a chicken. So you could certainly use Saurus for some faction war assistance as well. Um, but you can certainly put champions in your vault and in your reserve vault. Now, in the reserve vault, they cannot have gear on, right? So if I was to try to put any of these champions that have gear into the reserve vault, it would actually ask me, do you want to take all their gear off, right? And then you'd either have to pay the cost or you'd have to destroy the gear. So just be mindful of that. You can always purchase more slots here for a similar cost as your main inventory. And, you know, don't fret too much about the silver cost, because as we continue to kind of put our nose down to the grind and we continue to just push further and further into campaign, we're going to get more silver. We're going to get a lot more gear. And we haven't even really started to get to the farming phase of it yet. We're kind of still just pushing away at these missions. So once we do start farming and just the sole intent of leveling up some champs, we'll get a lot of silver. So no worries there. All right, I just wanted to share that about the vault real quick, and we'll do another 10 shard pull. About one every 100 to 125 greens, you'll get a rare. It's not a mercy system, but that's just kind of on average what the rates typically are. Shield Guard's a good uncommon. You can certainly keep a Shield Guard. He has a decreased speed on the A1. This is actually really strong, and people will use Shield Guard later on in the game because whenever he does a crit, he fills his turn meter. And this is especially strong because you can build him at 100% crit rate, attacking 4 enemies, and he'll just continue to kind of get that turn meter boost. And then you can also book him down to a 2-turn cooldown for this, and he can farm Nightmare Campaign, he can farm Minotaur, he can do a lot of work for you. You don't want to invest a whole massive amount of resources into him because he is kind of gear dependent. You have to have the gear to make him work later on in the game. But he's certainly worth keeping 1 copy of, and you could even build him to 30 to help you with the faction wars for the barbarians. So, alrighty, we will only record for another couple minutes, so I'll kind of find another couple of things to chat about, and then we'll end this video. Alright guys, we are back, and Lacey's here. She's going to bring the luck. Lacey, summon us.
I have the best luck.
What is on your... Oh, it's a snot boogery tissue paper. Apparently you do not have the luck. That was so gross. Go ahead and just click this button.
Are you?
I can't...
Kidding me.
I can't control it. You put your
Why
hand...
would you leave it on the desk? Oh.
My bad, sweetheart.
God.
My bad. Okay, go ahead. Something
so
good.
Mad right now.
Something good. Not terribly good. Judge has a decent kit. Attacks one enemy, increases damage for the debuffs that are on the target, so that's not too bad. Attacks all enemies 2 times, so this could be used for faction wars again. And let's see, with each hit, 30% chance of placing decreased accuracy, or decreased speed, or decreased attack, or decreased defense. Kind of a random passive here, similar to Cantor the Cyclone, where you just maybe you get a random debuff. But this one's decent for faction wars, so we will pause the video again until we have something else to chat about. Okay guys, it is about that time of the night to call it a video, so that way I can actually publish it and get it out. Oh, Lincoln is officially also turning me off, so hold on 1 second, bud, okay? I'll be done in just a second. So our Elhain has hit level 40 because we are going to feed this level 1 rank 1 champion into Elhain, and that completes our mission that also required us to level a champion up to level 40. So we're going to get a skill tome, and we're going to go ahead and use that skill tome, and we are almost done leveling our skills up for Elhain. Let's see. For everyone who joined the stream earlier tonight, that was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with everyone, even if it was brief. It's kind of hard for me to talk long periods of time, just because of all the mucus and gunk and nastiness. But me and Lacey always enjoy hanging out with everyone, so thank you for stopping by. Let's see, so we only have a couple more skill tomes needed before she is completely booked. We are officially at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we had the reset happen. We're going to go ahead and collect our shield. And we are going to go ahead and collect our daily login reward. So as you guys can see, we are on day 5, and we'll go ahead and level this guy up. We're going to look and see if we have any green shards here. No ancient shards. Alright, so that is pretty much everything for tonight. Tomorrow we'll be putting on the shield, yeah, let's see what the shield looks like before we hop off. Speed, crit rate. Let's go ahead and take it up to, we only have 232,000, so we'll take it up to level 8. Nice. Give us a double roll crit. Okay, not bad, not bad. Alright guys, as always, it's fun hanging out. I enjoy making these videos, so if you enjoy them as well, please comment in the comment section what you'd like me to continue to cover. If there's anything specific, certainly let me know so that way I can actually address them in the videos. And of course, if you like the video, go ahead and actually hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, because I don't know if you guys were aware, but whenever you comment and you subscribe and you like the video, that helps YouTube actually recognize that it's a decent quality video, and it helps it push it out to other viewers who might be interested in this content. So you know, if you're enjoying it, definitely engage with the channel a little bit by doing those things like subscribing, liking, commenting, so that way the channel continues to grow. So that's always super appreciated. I hope you guys have a great night. Sleep well if you are going to sleep soon, and I will catch you all tomorrow with another video. Till then, bye.